Hello, my name is Sinayo. Welcome to another educational video today in which I will be discussing plagiarism. Plagiarism is the act of presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own. It's under university law here at Northwest University. It is illegal according to school rules. Even in real life, it is illegal. If you get caught plagiarizing, you can get excluded from the university, not just this year, but for as many years as the disciplinary committee deems fit. Now, you have two types of plagiarism that are broad: intentional plagiarism and unintentional plagiarism. Intentional plagiarism is things like copying, like the copy and paste, taking a friend's assignment, things like that. That's intentional. Unintentional is just maybe not having an in-text reference where you should have it, or not putting quotations correctly on a quote or something like that from a source. So that would be unintentional plagiarism. Alright? Now if we continue on the types of plagiarism, we come across four big ones that we're going to talk about today. They are outright copying, patchwork plagiarism, paraphrasing plagiarism, and just stealing an apt term. Alright? First is just outright plagiarism, okay? This is the most common plagiarism. It's copying, alright? This is when you copy another individual's work or ideas and attempt to pass them off as your own. So you don't give them credit, there's no attempt. You take their idea and you go, no, I thought of it, alright? Obviously this is not correct. You got ideas, you get them from somewhere, so we just have to give credit where credit is due. Next, we have patchwork plagiarism. This occurs when an individual copies pieces of someone's work and attempts to seamlessly add it to their own work, to pass it off as their own. So an example of this would be taking 2 or 3 sentences here and there from like a book and trying to seep it into your own paper like you wrote those sentences, when you know in fact they came from a book and you don't want to give credits to the author who wrote that work. That wouldn't be right. Next, we have paraphrasing plagiarism. This is when you summarize or paraphrase the work of the people who wrote the piece you're reading without citing the author or the authors. All right. So an example of this would be to read a book. For example, let's say it's your economics textbook, and you summarize supply and demand and equilibrium from the book, but you're not citing the book. You still have to cite the book because that's where you got the information. So that's an example of paraphrasing plagiarism. Next is stealing an apt term. This occurs when students list or copies a phrase from an original text without referencing it. It can be a phrase, it can be a key coined or patented term used, or things like that. An example would be if you were writing a paper, for instance, a famous phrase, all warfare is based on deception. This comes from Sun Tzu's The Art of War. To not quote that would be a form of plagiarism. It's this form. You're stealing an apt term. So we just need to give credit where credit is due. Alright, moving on. So in conclusion, we have the two broad types of plagiarism, which basically we first need to ask ourselves, was the plagiarism intentional or unintentional? And then from there, we ask ourselves, was it outright copying? Was it patchwork plagiarism? Was it paraphrasing plagiarism? Or was it stealing an apt term? Now, to remind everyone, whether the plagiarism is intentional or unintentional, plagiarism is still plagiarism. So it is still stealing someone's work and trying to pass it off as your own, which which is a no-no. It's not good for society, and it's detrimental to university, especially for a student's university career. Thank you very much. My name is Sinayo. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.